is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day. Period. Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Period. But while I was getting ready for work, I was listening to this pastor in the background, and he was talking about the love of Christians. What made him come to Christ is the love of Christians. And I have something to say about that. That is absolutely true. Because I grew up in a household, it was chaos, but it wasn't chaos by the people who love Christ. My grandparents, my grandma and my granddaddy, especially my grandma, because my granddaddy was a warrior, and he would tell y'all to whoop whoop. Yes, that's why you have to guard your gates. And I finally understand what that means, to guard your gates. You don't let the devil in. You don't care who it is. Whoever take you away from God, do not let them in your house. Do not be around them. You can love them from a distance. Because guess what? The devil will take your kids. The devil will take everything you got. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Especially still if you read that Bible verse. So you have to guard your gates. Period. It's just my grandma, she loved everybody, everything, and she was so nice. So nice. Where, the older she got, you can see that she just got quiet and just it's unbelievable. Period. You have to guard your gates. That's why I say I'm okay with being single. I'm okay with my solitude. No matter how much I love and stuff like that, I don't want to let anybody in anymore that's not God fearing. I don't mean the person have to be that I date or who I marry have to be the pastor of the church. I'm not saying that. But you have to have some kind of fear of the Lord to not do certain things. Because when you have fear of the Lord in your heart, you feel guilty and you feel convicted about certain things. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm okay. I ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm a good person. Yeah, you're a good person, but this and this. You hold grudges, revenge and all kind of stuff, hate in your heart. When people have hate in your heart, that's something you can't see. I'd rather you smoke weed than have hate in your heart. The church don't want to talk about that. I'd rather you smoke weed than you gossip, because when you gossip, you damage people's character. The church don't want to talk about that. Yeah. All sin is alike. But the sin that you cannot see, that's those sins that will hurt you. Bump you smoking weed and smoking this and drinking beer and all of that. But when a person have hate, when a person steals, when a person, envies and all of that, slander, that's the devils you cannot see. That's the devils nobody see. And that's why I say I want a God-fearing man. Someone who feels convicted to even, I'm not saying they have to be the pastor, the pope, the bishop, the deacon, but they have to have the fear of God. I'm not perfect, but I know I got God in my heart. I know I'm a good person at the end of the day. Period. Period. So yes, and who demonstrated that love for me is my grandma. My grandma, yeah. And yes, she got walked over because that's what the devil do. Jesus said that in the Bible. Jesus said that, hey, they hate you, they gonna hate me. They hate me, they hate you. I mean, that's how it go. But you know, strong Christians, warriors, that's why we got to get back to that Old Testament. I hear some young Christians today say they don't read the Old Testament. And I'm like, how? That's how you get to the New Testament, is from the Old Testament. The only thing changed from the Old Testament to the New Testament is God just don't come down and hit you with the fire. Now he have more forgiveness because his son came and died for our sins. That don't mean you still commit the sins. He still wants you to obey him. But now he have more forgiveness. That's it. Some other stories in the Bible, they still good. It's stuff that still goes on in our lives. It's still demonstrations, instructions, examples. Yeah. Your church, churches don't want to talk about that because that Bible is very bloody. But they don't want to talk about that. But it's the truth. I mean, the truth will set us free, and the truth hurts. The truth hurts, period. But yeah, love like Jesus. Love like God. Well, what I say, follow Jesus, obey God. Because that's what he wants us to do. He wants us to obey him. He wants us to worship him. And he wants us to follow his son. Because his son was the perfect example. For real, for real. But yeah, I'm just saying, I like that. That's why I listen to this church stuff before I go to work, and sometimes not even before I go to work, just in the background, because it just gives me so much. And then after reading the Bible, it just gives me so much. And it helped me. It helped me to forgive. It helped me to forgive because you know, one thing I wonder is like how my parents, like how my mother was raised in a church home, and then a loving church home with my grandparents, which I knew my grandparents' heart. I knew them. I was raised with them from birth. But the world, that's what grabbed her up. The world. The world would tell you Christian stuff is lame. They tell us this every day. Just like with the certain people in the black community, they talking about, oh, Jesus is a white man. Why you white? Like that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And then they got all of y'all minions following right behind them. Oh, I don't know about Jesus. Yeah, I know about Jesus. He's the Son of God. Period. It's documentations. It's eyewitnesses. Period. What else you need to know? But y'all follow behind people, follow them. Y'all don't give it. Hey, it is what it is. Y'all follow who y'all want to follow, but I'm going to follow Jesus. How about that? And I'm going to try my best to follow him. Because he was the perfect example. Everything they wrote about Jesus was good. Every parable they wrote was every parable Jesus wrote was an example that we go through right about now. And that's what I want to do, a series. I've been thinking about this for my podcast, doing a series about the parables. But, you know, I just want to get more educated. And I want to be more clear. Because with my words, a lot of people act like they don't understand me. And I don't want to get nothing misconstrued it. And then it sounds like I'm lying or I'm flying. You know, I don't want to be like that. So, yeah, I'm almost here. Y'all see that sign that say dead end, but y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.